What about your other top 5 that you have?
Yeah, your biased one. Let's hear this.
Biased one.
My other top 5, based off of what I like in no particular order, I would say Yu Yu Hakusho is definitely one that people don't talk about it enough.
Yes.
Like that's for me, amazing. Like, yeah, they dropped the ball at the end, but we all know why. But like in terms of like, right? But in terms of like enjoyment, entertainment, and even like writing, because Yu Yu Hakusho inspired Bleach, and I love Bleach. So like, you know what I mean? So I really have to give Togashi his props there. I feel like not enough people celebrate Yu Yu Hakusho in the same way they celebrate like, you know, the big 3 or Dragon Ball or Fullmetal Alchemist. I feel like
Hunter x Hunter for that sake.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, honestly. Like, we actually recently did a rewatch of Yu Yu Hakusho, and like it made me realize like, damn, this is so much better than I thought it was as a kid. Because like as a kid, you don't really think about the story complexity. You just watch it for the flashiness of it.
We've also yet to remove the Yu Yu Hakusho manga since then.
Yes. But it's like it's still well written in my opinion.
Exactly, I agree. And I think with Yu Yu Hakusho, it's one of those series that I think that like if it got like a reanimation or like a reboot, it would just take the anime community by storm, because it's like so many. I feel like what's holding it back is that it was like a 90s show. Like, you know, not many people care about it. You know, they don't want to go back and rewatch bad animation. So like, but I feel like if it got like a reboot like Hunter x Hunter did, it would be in most people's like top 10 easily.
Oh yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. And I'm not a fan of that like stipulation that just because it's a 90s anime, it has bad animation. Like, no way. I still think Yu Yu Hakusho's animation holds up to this day. It's just an older art style, but that doesn't make it bad. I think it looks better than a lot of the CGI crap that comes out nowadays. I much prefer that old style, but maybe that's just me being old.
No, I definitely agree with you.
Henchon shit, man. Like we've always said, it's the love. You know, you in those older, you know, 80s through 90s anime, you know, you can see the blood, sweat, and tear and love into it. You know, unfortunately, with the shit that comes out now, you put on that blood, sweat, and tear. Guess what? They'll rip it from you too early, anyways.
Yeah.
Damn.
A little bit.
Back in the day, though, like the way they did anime or like manga and stuff, the serialization was very episodic.
Yeah.
Right, and like that was golden for back in the day. That was perfect standards, right? It's like that's what we want. But in current day and age, it's saturated with that. So I just don't know if it started off the same way. You know, with like going through being the spirit detective and everything like that with those episodic portion. I don't know if it hold up as well. It's kind of like Bleach at the beginning of Bleach.
Yeah,
it's a little more episodic.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the thing is with this like episodic shows, I think the reason why they do it is because I feel like, and maybe this is just my own like headcanon, but I feel like a lot of like older animes, because the expectation was for it to be a longer running series, especially like the successful ones. Like nowadays we're seeing shorter like series, like 20 volumes, like things like that. But because they were expected, like if your series didn't get canceled, it was gonna go on like forever, right? So like a lot of these like the beginning portions of the series was meant to get us to really like love the character and be connected to the character. That way when we get to a part in the story where there's some serious stakes, like we really feel it, right? Which is why when people complain about the substitute Shinigami arc in Bleach, I'm like, well, the whole point of the arc is to get you to like Rukia so you care when she gets.
Oh yeah, definitely. I fully agree with that. That's the whole reason we love the Soul Society arc.
Right. No one's gonna care, right? So I don't know. That's maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I think.
No, bro, you definitely know what you're talking about. Trust me.
I just don't think people in the current day and age have the attention span for that.
That's also true.
Right? It's like Demon Slayer picked up with, here's this kid, his whole family is dead, his sister survived, kinda. Maybe he can save her. Do you want to watch the show?
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
I
like,
really
straight
think
to the point.
Like as simple as Demon Slayer is, I do feel like I have to give it its props, and it did kind of change the game for anime going forward. I feel like it's kind of one of those staple animes that really pushed more of that quick storytelling, and it kind of made it easier for anime to be streamed and binged because of like streaming platforms and everything. Since it wasn't so episodic, it was more just like, you know, boom, 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 like things are happening really fast. I think that influenced a lot of other like more new gen anime to kind of follow the same scheme. Like JJK, for example, is also in that similar boat. It's not episodic in the slightest. It's very just like every episode something major kind of happens almost, or at least nowadays.
Yeah.
it's just a different time. It wouldn't have worked in the 90s because you had to wait that week, and you also see that with like the recaps too. Like we don't get really big episode recaps at the beginning of the episode anymore because 9 times out of 10, the people watching it are just binging episodes.
Do you think that's why Black Clover didn't get so much hype in the beginning?
Maybe
because it was slightly episodic in the beginning. Like you got him, he gets kind of a bullshit hack. Goes and becomes a Magic Knight. Sure. Once it becomes a Magic Knight, it was literally like, I would say like a good solid minute, like, what's the quest of the week kind of thing.
That's a good point. I never thought about that, actually.
Granted, like, the quest took a while, but it was more like quest. And it's like, oh, these quests are starting to build up to something. And then it kind of snowballed.
Yeah,
But you got to think like that. That was the platform for the storytelling, right? It's like Ichigo became a Soul Reaper, and he's introduced to Hollows and being a substitute Soul Reaper and what all that entails. And it's the same thing with us. He gets his anti-magic, becomes a Magic Knight. Here's the introduction, but then there's building stakes in the back.
Okay, yeah.
That's true.